Many critics of Islam have cited this verse to say that Islam is a violent religion because it's encouraging Muslims to kill the infidels wherever they find them. But it's very important, my dear brothers and sisters, to understand the context of these verses, to better understand why they were revealed, what they're addressing, and how we can benefit from such verses. Because if you want to take verses out of context, then the Bible has more violent verses, according to biblical scholars. In fact, Professor Jenkins, he has an interesting article on the violence in the Holy Scriptures. And he says if you compare the Quran to the Bible is far more violent in terms of the violence that it propagates. And sometimes there are passages in the Bible that claim God ordered prophets to commit genocide, complete annihilation. And he mentions those references. But I can't come and say Christianity is a violent religion or the Bible is a violent book, because all of these verses have their context. So what is the context of this particular verse? The Muslims, they were under attack from the pagans. And remember, this verse is not talking about all non-Muslims, because the way some Westerners use and cite this verse is that Islam is saying all the infidels, meaning all the non-Muslims, kill them. No. This verse has a very special context. It's talking about the pagans of Mecca from Quraysh who had waged numerous wars against the Prophet and the Muslims. Now, there are 4 sacred months in which even pre-Islamic Arabs considered sacred. And they believed that fighting is not allowed in these months. When the pagans waged wars against the Prophet said, let's make a treaty. It was year 6 of the Hijrah, the event of Hudaybiyah. It's called the Truce or the Treaty of Hudaybiyah. The Prophet made a treaty with them. I don't fight you, you don't fight me. Deal? The pagans said deal. What happens if this deal is broken? If this deal is broken, then both sides are free to fight the other. The first to break the deal was the pagans. They murdered and assassinated a number of Muslims in an incident. So they violated the peace treaty of the Prophet. And they made it very clear that we will kill Muslims and we won't stop. So now you've negotiated a deal. Your enemy has broken that peace treaty. What do? The Prophet ﷺ was in the sacred months. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told the Prophet, since you're in the sacred months, don't fight them. Even though they're trying to fight you and they broke the peace treaty, but don't fight them back. Respect the sacredness of the month. But when these months are over, the sacred months, Muharram, Rajab, Dhul Qa'dah, Dhul Hijjah, when these 4 months are over, and these pagans are continuing their attacks, then yes, you have no treaty with them. They broke the peace treaty. Wherever you find them, O Muslims, if they're coming here, kill them. Because they have waged war against you. And they broke the peace treaty. So if you see the pagans, they are plotting against you. So if you capture them, don't tell them, oh, we have a peace treaty with you, we should deliver safety. They're actively fighting you. Because they're actively fighting you, then it's not appropriate to let them go and let them freely conspire. Because that's exactly what the pagans did. They dispatched spies, collaborators, conspirators to undermine the national security of Medina. See, they took advantage of the peace treaty. They're like, Muhammad is naive now. We have a peace treaty, so we're going to send our spies. They will tell us where the weak spots of the Muslims are, so we make a surprise attack. The Quran is telling them, everywhere you find them, yes, capture them. Because they are there to harm you. They're in active combat. And when you find someone in active combat and they're continuing, yes, you need to stop them. Unless they retreated, said, no, I'm no longer in active combat, then the Quran says forgive them. So this verse was revealed in a very special, in very special circumstances. It's before the conquest of Mecca. It's after Sulh al-Hudaybiyah, when they broke that treaty. The Muslims were instructed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala not to show any weakness. They're conspiring, they're killing. So stop them. Yes, if they stopped, the same Quran says, if they want peace, or وَإِنْ أَحَدٌ مِّنَ الْمُشْرِكِينَ اسْتَجَارَكَ, if some of those pagans are confused, they don't know what's going on, they come to you, Ya Rasulullah, they come to the Muslims and they say, no, we don't want to fight. We want peace. Stajaraka. They ask you for protection. Give them protection. So they hear the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If they say, okay, we're not going to fight you, let them go. If they still say, no, we're going to fight you, then yes, you fight them back. So it was revealed in this very, very special context.